Artis. I'm a brother of the Theta Chapter of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, and I would like to thank the men of the Mu Xi Chapter of Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated for having me tonight. To begin, I would like to start out by saying that I feel like the phrase the N-word should not be used. For I feel it is just simply a loophole in the social structure for people to be able to say nigger. Someone can say the N-word and the listener will think, what is he trying to say? Oh yes, nigger. Now they know in their minds, they're thinking the word, they know its context, and what's actually being implied by it without the speaker ever actually having to say the word. And so, to be fair, for the rest of my speech, I will only be using the word nigger. Hearing that hard ER makes some people a little bit uncomfortable. See people shifting in their seats a little bit, looking around at their friends, to see if anybody's reacting towards anything. But this word is making you uncomfortable. A word can do this to you. It's just not a negative word in certain contexts. It forces you to be uncomfortable. It pushes you out of a homeostatic state of being that you didn't know that you were about to be removed from. Nigger's definition is known by all, but it's altered by individuals to fit their own personal context. It is and has been a derogatory racial slur, and as a whole, I believe that the word nigger should be a word that we as a global community recognize for what it was to history, but phase out of use, such as other colloquialisms such as Ruby or YOLO. The stigma that comes with nigger is something that I don't see leaving anytime soon, if ever, because the word is used in society to such a high degree and with such great variability and variance that it often seems acceptable. One thing that I feel plagues today's society is the concept of being politically correct, or to more accurately put it, offending the fewest number of people. I've heard people try to change the definition of the word nigger to mean stupid. But nigger does still mean stupid, but it is not solely synonymous with foolish. Nigger is still associated with the black community today. The historical context has a powerful role in determining the meaning of a word. And the N-word has a very rich historical context. The N-word was used to describe a black people who were enslaved or who were to become enslaved. Black people who were beaten, branded, castrated, separated from their families, chained, raped, lynched, spit upon, and overall dehumanized. Nigger was used as a term of oppression. Context cannot be erased nor forgotten from such a powerful word. Another way that the definition of nigger has attempted to be bastardized is only associating those who fit within a certain stereotype. As a young black male who grew up in a predominantly white community, I cannot tell you the number of times I've heard, you aren't really black, or you're one of the good ones. Essentially meaning that I didn't fit into a stereotypical category that they had associated black people with beforehand. But the worst part of that is I did not, and to this day do not, only hear this from my white friends or white people in general. I hear this from brothers and sisters of my own black community as well. Because I speak well, or I enunciate my words, I'm really white. Or I'm not acting like a regular nigger, or a real nigger. These are people who find value in me. These are people who acknowledge that I am more than what a stereotype can already assume about me. These are people that like being around me, who enjoy my company, because I am more than a stereotype. But I'm here to tell you today, just because someone desires you, finds interest in you, does not mean that they value you. You can Denying a stereotype to some doesn't erase that stereotype from your mindset or their mindset. You still know to not use nigger because you know what it really associated with. If a word's associations last, then the true meaning will last as well. With the underlying meaning still in place, the expressed meaning slides by under a politically correct cloak with a slight disguise with the addition of an A at the end of the word, thanks to our Southern dialect. Nigger is used in a great number of ways, and it may not always have that hard ER at the end of it. You may hear on a day-to-day basis the use of nigga or the phrase my nig, but it's used as a term of endearment in a black community, which it is not. Just because it has been used against us does not mean that nigger can be used amongst us. Its context is still ever present. The black community always alters expressions, and if there's one thing that we've been known to do is come up with some slang. Common terms and colloquialisms that you may hear are Negro, Nigra, or the even more recently coined term, my ninja. Other races try to use these terms, however, to try to assimilate into our community because they see us using it and see that it's all right with us. It certainly must be all right for them to use it as well. This is not the case. I cannot tell you the number of times I've been in a group of friends, predominantly black, and one of my white friends says, nigga. The entire dynamic of the room and the social context changes. Why? Because this word still has meaning and power to it. But it's okay though if you're not really a insert race here. You're really black. Because only niggers can use nigger, right? This is a double standard either way. And I feel that nigger should be completely abolished because a double standard is still a double standard regardless of who is profiting from it. And for this, I propose a general rule. If you have to look around to see if anyone's reacting to you saying nigger, then you can't say nigger. People who don't care about how it's used will then be the only ones who use it. And if you don't care about a word, you'll eventually stop using it. Over time, I hope that we won't need this rule anymore. I still stand by my previous statement in that nigger should lose all of its context, sting, evocativeness, and taboo. It should become a baseless word, and people will begin to lose regard for it. Without a disregard, nothing will change, and will not have this much needed